Hi, Nelson and Nurys. How are you both doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How
What's
are
up?
you?
What's
I'm
up?
doing great. I'm so excited to chat with you both about this season. First off, this will be a spoiler-ish interview. None of this will run until the show premieres on both episode one and episode two. So if you can feel free to talk about the events of those two episodes, but not anything past the first two episodes. So just the
Okay.
first two challenges and those eliminations. But I am so into this season already. I feel like it definitely feels like the OG Cutthroat, in more than one ways. And I think it's also the perfect cast to do Cutthroat again with. So it's super, super exciting. No, so I'll start with you first. What did it mean for you to come back for the first time since 38, I believe?
Woo!
Which
38. Oh my
it just first of all,
God.
time just rolls. It just goes by so
Just
quickly.
running, man.
Yeah,
Coming back
yeah.
this season meant the world to me. But it was never just about me. This was about everyone out there looking for hope, looking for that second chance, and
Mhm.
showing people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. These were never in the cards for me. I never saw myself going back on a challenge, but I
Yeah.
fought through adversity and to show people that if you don't give up and you keep the faith, you can achieve anything, regardless if you have an limb loss or an amputee. So coming
Yeah.
back to this season is bigger than me. It's for everyone out there.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like so many people, probably people who aren't maybe familiar with you from this show or your prior stints on TV, have probably seen your story before. So I feel like this may be a chance for a lot of people who may not have seen you on the challenge before to be introduced to you. And I think that one thing I saw in the first two episodes is that your story it's about your performance in your performance in this challenge, but it's also just about showing that you can have a redemption arc, you can come back and you can show different sides. So I think that I want to know for you, what's one thing that you hope, a lesson I hope that you think that people will take from your stint on this season?
One of the biggest things I hope is to show people resilience, perseverance, and faith, and taking accountability and showing that you don't let your choices define who you are. I think a lot of people, thought that me losing my leg, that it was gonna end life for me. And it did at one point. I was lost at one minute and I didn't know to go left or go right, but I didn't give up and I kept going. And that's
Yeah.
what I want to show people out there. As long as you keep striving for what you want in life, you can have your dreams. You can do what you want to do, regardless. And don't let anyone knock you for chasing your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. Amen. Like that's a sermon, right? That's a sermon right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And news for you, at this point, I feel like you're just one of our vets at this point. And I
Who would
feel
have
Yes,
like
thought?
you
yeah,
Who would have
you're one of our
thought?
vets at this point. And did you ever think, returning for another challenge, but returning for Cutthroat, did you think that was ever in the cards for you to be in a season like this that is so legendary within the fandom? And because it is Cutthroat, did that change like how you would typically prepare and bring the mindset for the show? Did it being Cutthroat change any of that for you?
Well, one, I will say we don't know the theme until we get there. So
Mm,
you can't really prepare for what's gonna happen
yeah.
until you get in front of TJ. TJ tells you this is what the season is. But I will say I can't say that I necessarily thought I was gonna be on Cutthroat, but I did know like I'm a huge manifester and I'm like, I'm gonna get what I want. And I knew I was like, listen, as much as I knew that I possibly would not get a call back, because you never know how like things happen. I also was very like hopeful the whole time. I'm like, I know what I provide. I know who I am. And I was hoping and praying that the production would see that as well and the fans. And obviously they
Mhm.
would want to see me back. So it all
Yeah.
worked out. And I'm really grateful to be back. Oh my God, so happy.
Yeah, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And Nelson, I think that well, I guess for both of you, like I feel like the chemistry on these teams are it's kind of hit or miss. I feel like when the chemistry is good, it's really work, but it's not, it's not. And we see that a
Yeah.
lot in the second episode because the blue team just has some chemistry. They have some coughs. They have some, people who are, kind of
Scared.
afraid. I know Nelson, you were definitely not afraid to respond to confrontation in that moment. So what was it like for you, I guess, to one, be back on the show, but two, just immediately knowing that you can be able to put yourself in situations where you can kind of either, rise to the occasion or kind of back down and choosing like how to navigate those moments socially in the
And
game.
that's you hit on it correctly, navigating it socially. Because what you do, people do not forget in that house. I knew me getting into it, the first challenge, people was like, wow, he's not going to back down from nobody, and that's always been the case for me. I don't follow suit and I always speak my mind, even if I'm wrong
Yeah.
or not. I could have been right. I
Yeah, we
could
know
have been
that.
right.
We
Who
know.
knows? Who knows? But letting people like setting the bar high for people and what I expect for people when you come on to the challenge. We're here to compete. We're here to put it all on the line. We're here to make a show, but at the same time, we're also, competing for $500,000. So I'm not going to hold my tongue for anybody, and I'm going to speak my
That
mind
part.
on how I feel. And I
Yeah.
think nowadays people are so scared of people being judged or them
Hmm.
seeing themselves on TV and
Mhm.
people
They're more
looking
cautious
for.
about what they say or what they do because they don't want to be perceived as a certain way. And then there's
Yeah.
people like me and Nelson who are so wholeheartedly who we are, and we do not stand down from nobody. Doesn't matter who you are, like you said, right or wrong. I'm gonna stand up for myself. He's gonna stand up for himself, and y'all gonna hear our mouths for sure this season. If
See,
that's one thing I can promise, you're gonna hear mine and Nelson's mouth.
this is why she's my ride or die. She just finished my sentence. All right. There you go, Nurys. I didn't even have to cue her in.
I got you.
And I think that's what reality TV is missing, the authenticities of someone being them true self because they're
Yeah.
so scared of being judged from other people. But like I said, we lay it on the line and this is who we are outside the game and inside the game.
And I think the thing about it is like if it's not authentic, I feel like a lot of people go on these competition shows, they try to edit themselves. I think they try to proactively self-edit themselves so they may not be subject to backlash, they may be perceived a certain way. But the thing about it is the fans are still going to clock the people who are doing that anyway.
Mhm.
So like if you come in, you're trying to like heavily produce yourself or you're heavily trying to like avoid certain things or not do certain things, the fans are going to clock it anyway. So it's like you may as well authentically be
And
yourself
not
because
even just the
regardless,
fans, but us castmates, while we're in
yeah.
the house, you can feel when people aren't being authentic. You can tell when people are being fake. And also like the words get around, you know what I mean? You talk to one
Yeah.
person, you talk to another person, it gets around. So it's very easy to see who's being fake and who's not.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
telephone thing is a real thing in that house.
Oh yeah,
It
for
doesn't matter how
sure.
old you get. Doesn't matter how old you get at all. And when
Yeah.
when the camera comes on, a lot of people put on a mask and you can
Mhm.
see the difference from like, yo, you weren't acting like that 10 minutes ago, but now the camera's on, you're a whole different person. And
Hmm.
that to me, I call that out. You know what I'm saying? That's stay true to who you are, stick to your word, be man enough or woman enough to speak
Hmm.
how you feel. Don't say something now, but when the camera pops up,
Because
you
that's what
come
makes for
across
good
different.
TV. Anyways, nobody wants to see someone boring. We want to see you speak your truth. Come on,
Yeah.
like
Well,
be
I'm a
authentic to who you
yes,
are.
Yeah.
yes.
We do like the challenge. We do like the challenges, but we also like entertainment as well. Like who
Exactly.
doesn't like entertainment?
Because you have to have the reality part. The
Yes.
challenges are amazing. Like obviously, I've watched this since I was 14, and like the challenges are great. But how else do you get to know who the people actually are without
Hmm.
seeing how they deal with confrontation, how they deal with problems, how they deal with love situations in the house? It's kind
Yeah.
of that's kind of how you really get to know the castmates as for who they are. I think it's
Yeah.
the stuff outside of the challenges. All you can see in the challenges is how good of a competitor somebody is.
It's like
Yeah.
when they put you in that hot box, are you still gonna stick to your word? Or
Yeah.
are you really gonna like, no, I didn't say that. Hold on, that wasn't me. No, no, no. Like, hold on, I just heard you talk shit about my boy over there. You didn't say that? Oh, camera's on you right now, the hot seat. Nobody likes that. Everyone wants to be these good old guys and slide by. Nah,
It
not
gives
this
me
season.
one
Not
thing. It's like the Keanu situation. I you guys won't end up. I don't think you guys will end up seeing it, but
Yeah.
Keanu was very much someone who came into the house. I don't think we had even done the first challenge yet, and he was already stamping who he considered a bad challenger, who he considered a good challenger.
Mm.
And that was mostly for the men. And so he was
Yeah.
very much like adamant on, I'm a better competitor than Corey. And we're like, you've been here for a solid 2 days. We haven't even done one challenge. And how can you say that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's always interesting in the house. Like some people, like I said, they get in there and they're like, I'm top shit. And then they carry themselves ish that way. And then when someone confronts them, they're like, I never said that.
Well, the
So
thing
yo,
is, this
Corey does confront him. They don't. I don't think that they're not sure.
this
Well, it
Corey
ain't
makes
does
sense. It
confront
this
makes
him.
ain't Big
sense.
Brother though. This ain't Big Brother.
Well,
The
that's the
biggest
thing.
thing.
Like with
Hmm.
his season of Big Brother, he didn't have the best social game, but he
Right.
won a lot of challenges. So like he would end up on the block on Big Brother like week after week because he would win the challenge, but he would say something crazy or like say something like, "Oh, I'll beat them" or whatever. And then that so it's kind of like it seems similar to his Big Brother journey as
Well, a
well.
lot of
Yeah, that's what
people
I heard.
underestimate people. They come into this game and they try to size them up physically. And then you
Mm,
gotta realize it. Yeah, we compete, we do challenges, and they're very physical, but this is a social game too. And if you don't
yeah,
have all aspect of this game, you're
yeah,
not gonna go far at
Yeah,
yeah.
all. So
yeah,
welcome to the challenge, y'all. Like
literally.
for real.
Some
People
people
come.
underestimate the social part of the challenge too. I feel like they underestimate that part because they think
Yes.
about
Mhm.
Survivor and Big Brother, the social game, but like the challenge has it too.
And you
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
handle your way to the top no more. You cannot. You have to have friends. You have to have be able to talk to somebody. You have to have that ride or die. You got to make friends, even if
And
you don't like
I
the
think
person.
this was the first season where I think I felt so different from the last three that I've done. This is the first time that I came into the show and I really felt like, damn, I got a handful amount of friends. And now I have to try to make friends with other people, but I'm not an ass kisser. And so it was very hard for me going in there trying to make natural, good friendships of people that I could try to trust without feeding them bullshit and telling them I was going to keep them safe. Like it was so hard for me playing the social game this time around because I didn't know so many people. And I think I was lucky enough in the past to know people, or even on Ride or Dies, I had Nelson and Nelson's allies to protect me. And this time around, I got there and I said, "Oh shit, this is different. Hold on a second."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even as me being in that game, I still felt like a rookie. When
Yeah,
I walked into
I
that
felt out of
house,
place.
I felt a stranger. I looked around, saw all these new faces and all these connections, and they're talking about
Hmm.
last season and what they did outside of the show. And
Yes.
I know everything you do outside of the show and who you communicate takes you longer in the game because that vote matters. So I'm thinking in my head, like, damn, the last time I've been here, we were talking, we had these conversations. You were on my side. I'm like, now I
Hmm.
felt even challenges. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every challenge I stepped up, I had that confidence face. But inside, I'm like, man, I'm a rookie at every challenge because I had to approach, not because, it is because I lost my leg and I'm a limb loss, but I couldn't approach every challenge the same no more. So I felt like a rookie, not only doing the challenges, but in that house because I had to build that roster again. Who can I trust? Who can I not trust?
Literally, it
Yeah, I
was
had
so
Tori,
hard.
Nurys, but other than that, I'm like, yo, what does everyone else alliance rely on?
Yeah, and it
What
was it was
rookies?
it was scary too because I feel like there were like so many more clicks in the sense of like there was the people from 41 there. There were so many Survivor people. There were so many Big Brother people where it was becoming clicky in a lot of different sense. You knew who the allies were, what the alliances were just by looking around the house. Like it was very evident. And if you weren't one of those, you kind of were like, hey, who do I go to hang out with right now?
Yeah,
Who
you
can
were
I
looking
go
at,
sit with
I need
real
a
quick?
friend to talk
I
to.
just want to talk. I just don't even want to talk game. I just want to go hang out. But who can I talk to right now?
But the best thing about it is that they had history. Some of those people didn't like each other, and we needed to use that. We needed to use that fuel to let them know, okay, that person doesn't like who, that rookie doesn't like who. So when you knew that history, it was like, okay, maybe it's good. I'm not friends with these people. Maybe I'm good at coming in and nobody really knows me. Nobody wants to be on my side. So we can build that chemistry at the same time.
I think Nelson, you were in a great place.
Uh, I think I was too. I think
Yeah,
I
you're in
was
a great
too.
place. I think you had a lot of people protecting you, which is amazing. And I think that's what you deserve because I feel like you're always very loyal to people anyway. So it's like, at least they could do is do it back.
I know, but this is cutthroat. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
They can only go so far. You can only go so far with your people. They can only do so much because you got to realize Nurys and Corey, we're on different teams. They could only do so much for me. You know what I'm saying? I was on a different team, so it's like, okay, how? Like at first, we were mad we were not on the same team. It's like, dang. But then when we found out, I said, maybe we could use this to as our advantage. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But then when it came down to the voting, I was like, oh, this is not good. I'm on a team full of rookies right now. And I did have Brad, I did have Cara, but I wasn't as close as with them. Brad and Cara got more history than me. So being on that team, not having that history, like Nurys and Corey, I'm like, damn, y'all got each other over there. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
but that's all. Me and Corey only had each other. We had nobody else. Out of the three other guys and the three other girls, me and Corey were like, fuck, we are at the bottom. We
Yeah,
are
it's
at the
true.
bottom.
That is true.
Well, I hate to interrupt y'all, but they telling me this is all of my time. We've been talking way too much.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
But
sorry.
thank you both so, so much. I can't wait to see the rest of the season and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you
Thank you
too.
so
Thank you
Thank you
much.
for
so much.
covering
Have a
this.
good one. Thank you. Hi, Annalie, Riley, and Letty. How are you three doing today?
So good.
Fab.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to chat with you about the challenge. First off, this will be a spoiler interview, so you can talk about the events of the first two episodes, but nothing past the first two episodes. So the first two challenges, the first two, eliminations, we can speak about that a little bit because it won't run until after the episodes have premiered. So feel free
Okay.
to talk about it. First off, Anna Lee, my first question is for you. You were top eight immediately. You were the first captain that was selected. How did all of this kind of exemplify you coming in immediately with something to prove and being a rookie?
Oh gosh. I mean, it's definitely overwhelming. Looking back, hindsight, I probably shouldn't have come in so hot, but I was just, tunnel vision and I wanted to do the best I could. And I was comparing myself or like this season to the previous Cutthroat. And so
Mhm.
all I kept thinking was that I wanted to be captain, not
Yeah.
knowing what was in store for me. So yeah, it was exciting, but also, uh, you know, didn't really know it was coming for me.
Exactly. And Riley, for you, I love reality competition shows and social games, and Big Brother is probably my favorite out of all of them. So I enjoyed you on Big Brother, and I felt like you were definitely gone too soon in your season of Big Brother. So how did it feel to come back and having another shot at being on TV again? And because you were on Big Brother before, is there anything immediately that you wanted to do on Challenge that you didn't get a chance to do your last time on TV since you had, opportunity to be exposed to a new audience?
I mean, yeah, I think, first of all, thank you for that. Definitely gone too soon, people, too soon. But I definitely think that, getting a second chance is what any person could ever dream of, especially because I was gone so soon. I had a lot that I wanted to prove and I didn't get to do it. So I was super excited to get the call. I was ready. I still wasn't sleeping at night, knowing that I could have won it all. Ugh. But I definitely, coming into the challenge house, it's so different from Big Brother. I wanted to kind of do my social game a little differently. I think that winning first HOH in Big Brother is like a huge deal. It kind of just isolates you up in that HOH room. You don't really get
Yeah.
to build a lot of, relationships right off the bat. It's just immediately like game time and it's scary. So coming to the challenge house, I really wanted to work on my social game. I wanted to make relationships with everyone. I wanted to play it cool because, like Annalise said before, like coming in hot is, there's pros and cons to it. But I definitely wanted to kind of take it easy and work on my social game. So that was the goal.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Lady, everybody was kind of gagged by you in these first two episodes. I feel like in the best way. Like I feel
I
like
was like,
people.
I don't know
No,
what they're putting
I
on.
mean gagged isn't good. Like
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like I feel like people immediately went from being like, okay, we don't know her, who is this, to like, oh my God, this is like one of the biggest competitors in the season so far. So do you think that immediately when you first came in, you were underestimated? And how is it navigating knowing that you're such a competitive person and coming in and people not really knowing what to expect from you?
Yeah, I loved that nobody knew my previous show or people didn't know anything about me. I was debating on if I was going to tell people that I was in the WWE or not. I knew
Mm.
a few people going into the house knew that. And so I wasn't trying to play all my cards. I wasn't trying to show everybody my skill sets. There was definitely a lot of things that I was holding close to my heart to use later on as an
Yeah.
advantage point for me to know and people to later find out the hard way. No, but I love being underestimated in everything. I love proving people wrong. I love surprising people. So honestly, coming in and having people not know much about me and not having talked to many people, Deb was the only person I knew coming in. And I told her, I was like, do not tell anybody shit about me, Deb, okay? And she's like, I got you, girl. And so, yeah, I know that my physicalness, being 6'1" and athletic, is people look at that and they're like, what is going on here?
Mm.
So I know that's something that I have to try to like downplay maybe or
Yeah.
maybe not seem too intimidating. But yeah, it was a lot of fun coming in and having people not know much about my background.
Yeah, and I mean, immediately after the first challenge, you weren't afraid to like go at it with Johnny Bananas. Like immediately after that, I'm like, okay, we kind of know what to expect from. We know she's not gonna back down,
Yeah.
and she's ready to go at it with people who have been on the show season after season. So coming in, did you know that you're already going to be prepared to like do things such as that and like kind of make your presence known socially, even aside of the comps?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitor, like from day one. Like my parents were both college athletes. They birthed me and my brother, both also D1 college athletes. I've just known how to compete my entire life. I don't care your age, your gender, your race, anything about you. Like I'm here to win. Your history doesn't matter to me. I'm here to win. Like the fact that people have been there longer, they have more history, that didn't intimidate me at all because I knew what I've done in the past and I knew what I'm capable of. And there's not much that intimidates me.
Hi, Tori, Michelle, Johnny, and Deb. How are you three doing today?
What
Sorry,
up,
the four of you.
Trey?
How,
Good.
how four of you doing today?
It's a long
Happy
day.
Listen, it's definitely Monday. The Monday is definitely mundane. But I'm so excited to chat with you about this season. First off, this will be a spoiler interview for the first two episodes. So feel free to talk about the events of those episodes because this will not run until after those episodes have aired. So we can talk at length about some of the things that happened in those episodes. But I'm enjoying the season a lot. I feel like this is the perfect cast to do another Cutthroat season with. I think that there's the right mix of personalities. There are people who are hot and cold. It's a good amount of strategy, but also the comps are definitely interesting as well. So I love that as a fan. First off, Tori and Michelle, for both of you, you are two of the people who are, some of our most veteran participants at this point. You've both been for several seasons. So especially among the women, you're two of the most tenured people on the cast. What did it mean for you, both of you, to have a cutthroat season? Like when you got to Bangkok and realized this is about to be cutthroat, what was going through your mind as challenge veterans to be a part of a season like this?
Thank God I don't have emotions anymore. I got them out of me seasons ago. I mean, no, honestly, it always is hard to be on a cutthroat season because obviously you build bonds with people and you have to make hard decisions, as you saw in episode 1 with Michelle. But like you learn how to bounce back from things that even do feel real. So there's just this ability to maneuver past hard situations that I think you have to callous over time. So I'll say that it does get easier the more you play, even if it is still difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Michelle, what about you?
Yeah, when I heard Cutthroat, I was like, well, that sounds fun. I'm thrilled. I didn't know about the first Cutthroat, but I was like, I have always struggled with the cutthroat aspect of the game. I'm a bit of a people pleaser by nature. And so I think that this was a good opportunity for me to be like, okay, it quite literally has to be done. There's acceptance in the cutthroat aspect, and then you can move into the how do we actually play it without kind of taking your emotions a little bit out of it. So yeah, this was truly a learning season for me. Put the
Yeah.
emotions to the side a little bit, but I guess it takes 5 or 6 seasons to get there.
I mean, I was gonna say day one, you were already struggling day one with the format, and I felt for I was like Michelle, I was like we got to get it together. But my hope is that you'll be cutthroat, but as the season goes on, we're gonna pull that cut. We're gonna pull that cut.
One can only hope.
Yes, yes. And Gotti, for you, as you say in the first episode, you are targeted early and often, and you'd rather show up in these games like this as opposed to the other way around. So for you at this point, is it something that you're already used to being by you being such a veteran of the show to be targeted so early? And even for you, by this being cut through, did that change anything about how you wanted to show up as well?
I mean, I don't know if you've watched the last, I don't know, 10, 15 seasons of the challenge, but yes, I've accepted my fate. All right. I know that if I come in, it could be a house of people I've never met in my entire life, and I am still going to be the one that's going to be targeted right away. So I don't make any illusions about that. I don't go in. Obviously, it would be nice to not have that happen, but I kind of go in hoping for the best, planning for the worst. And again, I think in a way, the longer you wait in a season to go into elimination, sometimes the more pressure that builds. So there is kind of a benefit to going in early, like showing up, because there's question marks, especially people who've never seen you perform in person. This guy's been doing this forever. Can he still perform? So going in and kind of proving to the cast, proving to myself that I'm still able to do it. It kind of reminds everybody, what you're capable of doing, and it kind of gets it out of the way. It kind of gets the nerves out, and again, it makes it this season, just with the way that the format goes down, the way that the voting goes down, it actually ended up being beneficial for me to go in early. So again, it's death, taxes, and bananas going in right out of the gate.
That's always what we expect. We always expect that. And so for Tori, Michele, and Johnny, for each of you, I want to know a newbie who you think surprised you in the competition that you weren't expecting something from. And then Deb, I want to know a vet that kind of turned out to be differently than you thought they would be. But I see Tori, Michele, you're saying Deb already is that person.
Yeah.
I mean, we were lucky enough to play with Deb, so I think we had a front row seat to see how surprising she was. I will say, if we're not choosing the people on our team, like also adding in Lete to the mix, Lete walked in there as a WWE like, and honestly, we had high expectations for her, and we'll see how it all pans out, right? But like, I think Deb was unexpected. I think Lete, we're kind of anticipating what is she going to bring to the table.
Yeah, I think we got to chuck Annalie in there too. I think personality wise, I don't know. I was thrilled Deb Chubb was in our room because I really just got to know her, and I don't I probably, if she wasn't on our team or whatever, might have just kind of put her in a bucket, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to not, because she's definitely the breakout star of the season for me personally. But I think Annalise surprised me. Her stature, definitely going in, I probably would have been like, okay, she's kind of on the smaller side, but right out the gate, she came in, she's fiery, and for better or worse, she's fiery,
And I think all three of those women, and what they have in common, which you don't see a lot of time in, especially rookie females, is they all came in and they all just, like they said, went to work and did not give a shit about having. A lot of times people come in and they feel like they need to belong to a group, right? And I feel like all three of them would have been fine standing completely on their own. And we're totally confident with, kind of thumbing their nose at the rest of the house. And you will see that as the season goes on. They all have their opportunities where it's it takes a lot of confidence, and it takes a lot of that, I don't give a shit, in order to, is it warm out there? In order to, come onto a show with this many huge personalities, and if you have them all pitted up against you, to, just kind of show up and show out.
One blonde, one brunette, one redhead. They could be like the Charlie D'Amelio of the rookies.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of the show, but I think just working with my team, especially, I was blown away everybody's minds, and Michele being able to come up with our secret code in the building challenge, and then the way that Michele and CT could look at the of course my street sweeper's here right now, look at the balls and do all the puzzles. All of that was amazing. Who also surprised me was Will, because I saw him last season crying, and I literally went in being like, if I go onto the show, I'm not going to speak to that man. He seems insane. And so he kind of was not as insane as I thought. He's still insane.
So I'll just jump into his bed instead.
I've fallen for that mistake many a times. Don't you worry.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for so much for chatting with me. I can't wait to see the rest of the season. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Congrats on the launch of the season.
Thank you,
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Have a good one. Hi, Will, Izzy, and CT. How are you three doing today?
How's it going?
What's going on, Trey?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to chat with you about this season. This will be an interview that's spoiler filled, and so it's going to be released after each episode. So feel free to talk about the events of episode 1 and episode 2 for the first 2 challenges, but nothing past the first 2 challenges and first 2 eliminations. But you can talk about those 2 episodes as well.
What was the first challenge?
The first challenge was dang, I mean I watched the episodes of damn like Day was first challenge. That's when Cedric is eliminated the first, and then Reilly's the
Oh,
yeah.
the bridge.
Yeah, that was the bridge, and then the
We
I know
ran down
the
the stairs, didn't we, or something?
We had to run
yeah, yeah,
across the bridge, and they were pulling the
And through the
ropes.
yeah.
city. Yeah.
And then the second one is the drop in which, many disqualifications in that episode. So that's the best
Will,
one.
Will, hello, how are you, Will?
It was a lot going on in that episode. But
Hmm.
I'm excited to chat with you about it all. My first question is for all of you. When you first got there and you learned that it was going to be another cutthroat season, I'm
Hmm.
interested to know, did that change how your mindset toward the game, how you thought you would compete? Did knowing it would be another season of such a iconic one in the fandom, did that change any way that you want to navigate your gameplay, whether socially, strategically, or just competition wise?
See?
I I'll say this. I think it gave me hope that the challenge was going to go back to more of the older school of challenges. And what I mean by that is, not trying to turn the challenge into America's fifth major sport. Like, let's get back to what made the show great, and which was, you know, of course, the challenge is a challenge, it's part of the game. But I think that the bigger aspect of it too, what made the challenge special was the reality of having people from different walks of life. And I always call it, and like focusing more on reality.
Mhm.
And I think we're off to a good start. I'll say that.
I
I think
think so
so.
too. I think so
What was the
too.
question again? I'm so sorry.
When you learned that the season was going to be another cutthroat season, that changed how you perceived and how you wanted to compete this time around.
Uh, I think not really, because I came in to this season thinking like, look, I'm here for one thing only, and I'm here to try and win. So I heard it, and I was like, okay, like great. I might have to play a little more politicking game since it's gonna be a little cutthroat. So, but yeah, I didn't. It didn't really phase me very much. Like I said, I came in and I only had one thing on my mind. Didn't matter what the yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyway.
He's like, I came here to win, chew bubble gum. I forgot my bubble gum.
Izzy, what about you?
I feel like for me, it was just like, I mean, cutthroat just sounds scary, doesn't it? So I was like, shit, like this is going to be scary and I need to up my game. And
She's like,
yeah,
Corey.
also, guys, let me see. And I feel like, honestly,
Starts
everyone's reactions as well. Like when TJ was like, it's cutthroat, and everyone was like, I was like, oh my God, it's scary, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's scary enough getting this challenge. So I was just like,
Naughty, naughty.
Naughty
I
little
was like,
Vicar, aren't
yeah,
you?
so I need to improve my social game. And yeah, compared to the last season anyway, I need to up my social game. And that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, especially when it's a season where, captains are changing every week. It
Oh,
feels like, as cutthroat as it is, it does feel like a lot of the social game is at play too. Even the first episode, CT, I feel like you were in a position where it seemed like, you and Johnny would be the two that may get sent in almost immediately, and then trying to make either one of you being the first ones out.
You know what sucked is that I didn't want to use that card so early in
Mhm.
the game.
Yeah.
With the whole taking money and giving it away sort of thing. What, that's the game. It's like a game of cards almost. And when you politically in the challenge, and you get forced to play cards that you don't want to, and
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: to me, it's I don't know what's scarier. It's like going into the last elimination before the final, or going into the first one when you don't fully know the rules of what happens when you win, or
Mhm.
Oh, I could not imagine right before. Well,
Ugh.
I was second before on last season, so I know how it kind of feels, but
Yeah, you do. You know when it's like you don't know when it gets so
you
late in
don't
the
know
game
when,
where
yeah,
every time you're waiting for TJ to say it,
because you
welcome to
don't
the
know when the
final.
last one really is until, and
Yeah.
then when it's like,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't know, but
And I'm also interested to know from each of you, there's as always, there's a good amount of newbies in this season. Was there any newbie this season that you would say, for better or worse, surprised you and kind of subverted your initial expectations of what they were going to bring to the season?
I'll
I
say Deb Chubb. Deb
what?
Chubb,
Ah, Chubbs,
100%.
Chubster, bro.
the
I,
Chubbster.
I, not that I judged her, but she came in like she had no clue what
Oh
she was.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like I was like, this girl is out straight away. Like, but
true.
she came with some grit and she's
I would
great.
say Letty, but I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Letty, but I'm not gonna say really any more to it. You just have to watch, and then you'll understand why. She just at the beginning, it's just she's this person, and then when you get going through the show, totally different. So
Yeah.
yeah.
She became, but to me, she turned into one of the funniest people in the house.
Oh, 100%. At first, I was like,
And I don't think she was doing it on purpose.
no, that's the thing.
I think everyone judged her at the start though.
Yeah,
Everyone.
100%.
God,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I mean, I was actually when I was speaking with her, I told her first of all, I said that I said she had the house gagged, and she thought I meant it in a bad way. Like, no, I meant you had the house gagged in like a good way. Like, yeah, everyone was so surprised about what you were going to bring, and I thought that initially it seemed like everyone went from like, okay, who is this girl? What can she do? And like
Yeah.
immediately she just like shot up as people recognizing her as, a threat and someone who could be really good within the competition. So I think that. But I will say, as far as Deb, I feel like sometimes the Love Island people, sometimes the Big Brother people who aren't like excessive competitors, they're looked at as, like, oh, especially on a season where the show where the social game may matter more.
Right.
And I think they immediately get judged. But I feel like Deb in the second episode, like during that one, she was good when she went up against Reilly. I was like, okay, Deb, like okay, Deb, because
She's
the
back
way
on it.
That
when
really
you're
brought us
watching the episode,
together. That one
when
really
you're
brought us
watching the
together.
episode, it feels like she's far behind, and then all of a sudden, just like
Mhm.
she caught up. So, I mean, I personally enjoyed that.
And
Um,
Letty too, like she's just so quiet. She's quiet. She was quiet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Do you
And
think
fucking
that?
rude. God, it's so rude.
That was the first thing I even forgot about that in the first episode where immediately after when Cedric is eliminated and she immediately gets into it with bananas like almost off rip and it
Oh
shows that like
God, just wait.
No,
Just wait till you
Just wait.
just
There's
wait.
a lot more of that to come.
oh wow oh
Yeah.
wow
Yeah.
it seems like things are going to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
This challenge, it reminded me of older challenges of what I remember to be the best. When it was just a lot of fun and games in the house. I felt like we were in Neverland in a big we're on summer camp.
And like playing pranks and stuff. Like if you like 41, this 42 is 10 times better than 40.
Yeah.
Than 41.
I also feel like it's a perfect cast to do another Cutthroat season with. I think it's like the personalities in the mix.
I will say the people that we were with, I would say I really, really got along with. Not got along, but I liked everyone genuinely this season.
Yeah.
Did you?
Maybe a few couple though.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
The majority of the cast. The
It
majority.
definitely feels
Yeah.
like drama, politics, the social side, the physical side. Like,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, personally, one of the best.
Mhm.
Gonna be.
Yeah, I look forward we get back to the house after a challenge, we get all cleaned up, whatever. You know, I don't know. Me and Will
Shower beer,
shower beer, my guy. But we kind of walk around and just scope out because the place is
Man,
huge. And we
I miss.
there's always something going on, so we're always creeping behind bushes to be nosy.
I think I took this season for granted a little bit. I mean, I was dealing with a lot of shit back home when I was there, but now that you were talking about it, I'm like, damn, man.
A little bit.
Like no more shower beers, like no more hanging out with the boys. I'm in my room
movie
by
night,
myself.
You didn't know how good you had it. You didn't know how good you had it.
Yeah, no, I remember one of the things now that I remember is it's one thing I miss is me, you, and Bananas sitting in the room just chilling out, and we'd be waiting for Justin to come in because he was always into something, and he would give us it was like bedtime stories every night for us.
He's like, you will never believe what I just fucking heard. What'd you hear?
I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you three
good
so
one.
much for chatting with me. I can't wait to see the rest of the season, and I hope you enjoy
Take
the
me
rest of
back.
the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Chris, Cassidy, and Sydney. How are you three doing today?
Hello.
Hey,
doing
how are
great.
What's
you?
going
I'm
on?
doing
Doing
great.
great.
I'm so excited to chat with you three about the challenge this season. First off, this will be a spoiler interview that will run after the first two episodes. So if there are any details you want to reveal about the first two episodes, the challenges themselves, the eliminations, feel free to talk about them because it won't run after that, but just not anything after the first two episodes. But I am enjoying the season so much right now. I feel like this is the perfect cast to do another Cutthroat season with. And I feel like there's like the right mix of, social gaming, the challenges themselves. I'm really into it so far. So first off, Sydney, my first question is for you. You came very close last season. And I feel like there's really not much to prove when you get that close. There's not too much to prove. So I want to know if you was anything you want to accomplish this time around that you may have not necessarily been able to in last season.
Yeah, I mean, it came into every single reality TV show I've done and said I have nothing to prove, and that has that has stood. So this season, I genuinely just wanted to make money, and that was quite literally it. I'm like starting my life. I'm getting married this year, and yeah, I mean, an official win would be great, and I call it official because I do feel like I am the champ because I did basically win the final solo, if you like take into consideration what I had to drag up the mountain. So I wanted the official win, but I did accomplish everything because I did get an unofficial win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Chris and Cassidy, for both of you, you both were on Challenge USA. And now, you're making I guess a main line to the official like MTV/Paramount franchise. For you, what was different about being on that version of the challenge and this one? Because I feel like, while they're similar, there are, maybe like minor differences between the two. And Chris, of course, you're a winner of that version of the show. But for both of you, how did being on the regular quote unquote version of the challenge, were there any differences that you saw between the two?
Yeah, all these guys are unhinged. The challenge flagship, these guys are unhinged. The amount of drama, I think the difference is like when you're pulling from a lot of cast members from competition, social strategies type games, Amazing Race, Big Brother, Survivor, and it's a CBS show
Mhm.
that is going to like default more strategic gameplay.
Yeah.
But out here on the challenge, like the drama was high. Like there was so much drama. And that to me, I always kind of stay out of it. But man, like I had front row seat to some crazy fights and it was a lot of fun to be a part of. But I would just say that one thing, like drama is to the max on the flagship seasons.
Yeah, yeah. Cassidy, what about you?
Yeah, I think that I would agree with Chris. There was there were some difficult personalities that I dealt with on USA 2, and I to some people I might be one of those, as well. But I think on this show too, there was just like some people are mean, man. There's some vicious people that were on this show, and it was like I don't know. That was like interesting having to deal with these like really egotistical, borderline narcissistic personalities that are just like they are not afraid to use psychological warfare to the nth degree to get in your head,
Mhm.
especially if you're not on their team, right? So I
Mhm.
think dealing with that was a little bit more difficult. I also think that there's some changes in I don't know if I should talk about like production or not, but like the games were like a little bit different, right? And
Mhm.
a little bit more intense. So I think that it wasn't too different for me, my experience, obviously from like USA 2 to this, but I think it was just really cool to get like that full flagship experience.
Yeah. I definitely feel like the people who come from the CBS reality shows, like it's just different for y'all versus the people who are from whether they're regular challenge or all the MTV shows. And I compare the CBS people and the challenge people on this season, kind of like on the USA seasons, when you had like the Survivor and Big Brother people versus the Love Island people, because it seemed like the Love Island people who are on Challenge USA always seem to be others sometimes because they weren't on like a traditional, show with the competitions. So I feel like I kind of see the same thing on this show, whereas I guess feel like the CBS people think about the social game differently. Except for Keanu, because Keanu plays it like he played Big Brother, so it's kind of similar in that degree. But that really makes sense
Yeah,
as
I
someone
think personalities are more tame on
yeah.
these because we are
when we come from Survivor, like if your personality is not tame enough, you're getting voted out secretly.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it, right? Whereas with this show, you have a chance to go in that arena, talk your shit, and then come back and haunt the house for longer. And so I think it allows you to be more of a big, bold personality and cause more chaos and drama because you have a chance of coming back, not only on this season, but in future seasons.
Yeah, I mean, on a CBS show, if you're being allowed, okay, we gotta get you out, and I'm gonna come with a plan to create your exit strategy right now. That's how it always feels. And I'm interested to know for each of you, was there anybody on this season? I would say like it could be a newbie or it could be a vet, who surprised you this season that kind of subverted your expectation of what you initially thought about them coming into the game. Was there anybody for each of you that did that this season for you?
You know, I would like to say Keanu because the way like I didn't know him well, but like based on my first impression, I was like, I don't want to say rubbed the wrong way, but I'm just like cut from different cloths, like not really, I don't know, just don't really vibe on the same wavelength at all. But then as the season progressed, I just really grew to realize like what a great heart that guy has and just like what a good person and fabulous competitor he is. And also just I gotta shout out Brad, like the funniest guy on earth. Like I thought he was gonna be this like total badass, but he's such a nerd. Like I'm obsessed with everything Brad Fiorenza.
Love that, love that.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the rookies coming in, I didn't know much about her. Like, obviously, she has like a cute Instagram presence and she travels and things like that. But I think Annalie actually really surprised me with her physical prowess and like how how fit she was, how in shape and ready to play she was. So I think she was somebody that definitely surprised me. And then CT, we had some funny bonding moments over like cooking, and he's a total sci-fi nerd and I am too. So it was really fun to get to see that side of him and to like have bus chats with him about all of our favorite sci-fi books. I would tell him stories as we're going to challenges and stuff. So I didn't know if I would be able to connect with him, but I was able to find that in these little ways. So that was cool too.
Yeah, yeah. And lastly, Chris, what about you?
For me, she is on the call right now. I thought Sydney was just gonna be a little shit, just an asshole, just this person that I was not gonna get along with whatsoever. And lo and behold, she's like, one of the top picks for me early on, and we bonded well. So she's really actually sweeter than she lets off. She plays a great villain. But Sydney surprised me. I would say like actually surprised me coming in from watching 41 and doing my research on the character of Sydney Segal to like, hanging out by the pool and spending time with her. She's pretty legit. So that's one person that I was interested, my perspective changed coming into it.
We love that. We love that. I feel like that's the thing about these shows is that I like when you can, even from season to season, you can see how people get to know each other more and like, may make bonds with people they didn't expect to, may have commonalities. Some people may be the opposite. They may dislike for that person more as the games go on. But I think those unexpected connections and those like subverting expectations is what I love about these games. So it's very fun to see that. Very fun to see that. But awesome. Well, thank you three so much for chatting with me. I can't wait to see the rest of the season, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Congrats on the season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. Hi guys. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to chat with you about this season. First off, this will be a spoiler interview, so feel free to talk about the events of episode 1 and episode 2 because it will drop once those have aired. So you can talk about the challenges in those 2 episodes and the eliminations, just nothing past the 2nd episode of the season. Coming back again for another challenge, and we unfortunately see in the first episode, it's a short stint for you. And I feel like it's interesting because, you made it to the final in the previous season and coming back and like it being immediately out. What was your mind going through in the moment when you realized, wow, I might be leaving this episode. I might be the first out. I'm going from like being at the top to being at the bottom. How was that mindset for you during the first part of this episode?
Honestly, I'd love to be like, oh, I got ice in my veins. I was just like, that's not the truth. Especially because it was, you'll see in the episode the events of how it takes place. Like after the challenge, I knew I was like, I'm going in. There's no way. And then it was just unique because of the people that had the power to either vote me in the very first elimination or like rock with me. You know what I mean? So that was interesting. And then making my way to the elimination, it was like, wow, all right. I've been practicing though. I think my nerves got the best of me and I kind of froze up a little bit and it was too emotional. I was too emotional in the situation. So it was an emotional roller coaster, but grateful. I take lessons from every season I do, and it's been a blessing. And I couldn't be more grateful to be on Paramount, and especially with the production team and the guys and the women, the strong women that run the show. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. And Josh, for you, I actually thought that you were robbed so badly on Love Island Games. I just knew that you and Andrea were going to win that season. I thought that like they just really wanted the competition out. So I was so excited to see you being a part of this season, like because you were a front runner such a good amount of the time on that show. So what was it like being able to participate in another game where the physical competitions mean so much? And was there anything you thought you were able to accomplish this time on television than your prior times?
Yeah, great question. I appreciate that as well. I mean, I've had such an amazing, I've been fortunate to have such amazing experiences on every reality show I've been on, Love Island and, the challenge with Paramount and all these amazing cast members and everyone that works on the show as well. But I think, for me, the persona of the challenge, I think like embodies a lot of the great qualities that I, try and encompass like on a daily basis. So like the competition, the social, everything. So like Love Island, obviously people just think, you sit there and you sound stupid and you talk to people and, people are hot or whatever. But like there's so much more like depth to me, I feel like, and there's so much more aspects of me that people don't know. So I'm glad that people could see that competition side. I mean, I've been an athlete my whole life. I've been to College World Series and played every sport you could ever think of. So this felt more at home for me, and I'm glad that I got another opportunity to like come back and compete and meet so many like cool people and friends that now I can, like have relationships with. So yeah, I had a great experience. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Justin, for you, I'm interested to know, what newbie, if there was any newbie in particular that surprised you the most during this season? I know that we have several people from Big Brother, Love Island, et cetera, who have not been on the show before. Was there anyone that immediately stuck out to you as like, wow, this person may be a wild card. I don't know what's going to happen, or this person's excelling in the challenges. Was there anybody that fit the bill for that for you?
Oh, um, I mean, I don't want to say it just because I'm not the most fond of this person, but I will say Anna Leigh, unfortunately. She definitely had moments of surprising me and shocking me. I think as far as Lete, we all knew that Lete was going to be absolutely phenomenal in everything that she did. I think some others, Reilly was kind of just there for me. There wasn't really anything, a wow factor. I think she was a nice girl, but nothing crazy. Keanu is obviously a beast in what he does. There's no coming out of that one. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose the probably one person I don't like the most, which would be Anna Leigh, because she was exceptional in what she did, brain wise, puzzle wise, athletic wise, social game wise. She needs to work on what she says and doesn't say. But other than that, she's a great player.
So I'm assuming we're going to find out more about why you're not fond of her in the later episodes of the season.
Oh yeah, you'll find out. Stay tuned to find out, because I'm sure we have a yeah, just stay tuned.
Excited to see that. I'm excited to see that. And Brad, for you, once you realized that this was about to be another cutthroat season, did that change your mindset about how you would approach the competition, whether that's your attitude in the competition? Did knowing it was going to be cutthroat change any way about the way you approached your gameplay, both socially and strategically and within the comps this season?
Well, Trey, honestly, maybe it should have more. I was excited to hear the concept, but I felt like since I had walked into a game with so many new faces, and because of my experience on the first Cutthroat, it was very hard to predict how this game was going to play out, how votes would work, and there were some twists involved as well. So I tried to kind of do just what I'd always do, and that's, be myself and build authentic relationships where I could, and just hope that those relationships would turn into reciprocal opportunities to work together. I don't usually scheme or try to, push a real hard game of tricking people into thinking I have them when I don't. But I do look for real opportunities with people that I trust to return favors. So I tried to do my best with that mentality, and it felt a lot different. So when I pulled up to the first Cutthroat, I knew everybody in the house. I had some type of understanding of how they played the game and what I could expect from each individual. This season was less than half of that understanding. So with that gap, I really had to do my best to take notes, see who I was naturally vibing with and who I could build with. And, I did my best with both of those.
Yeah, yeah. And my last question is for all of you. If you feel free to chime in. When you learned that it would be a different way in which the money was split this season, how that would basically be up to the captains, what were your initial thoughts on that? Was that something you thought like, okay, this is a great opportunity where you'd be like, wow, I might be screwed, even if I technically may win, I may still be screwed. What were all of your thoughts on that?
I honestly don't even think you're really thinking about that early on in the season. I know I wasn't. I didn't even remember like how much money was being played for, like how it was getting divvied up. My goal was just try and make it past the first elimination. You know what I mean? Like as a rookie, build as much relationships as I can and try and compete and do my best. So I honestly wasn't even thinking about that. I think, looking at it, probably you're like, okay, let me try and be captain. But then at the same time, if you've watched anything about this show, you know that being captain is not necessarily the best of things. So, yeah, I think there was a lot up in the air, but I don't know about you guys. I don't think I was really thinking about that early on.
No, I don't think I was either. I think the only thing that was in my brain was make it to the final this year. After getting eliminated at the very last elimination, season 41, before the final, my only mindset was just make the final, whatever happens at the final happens, just get there. So I definitely don't think that my brain was going towards the fact that the captain could initially fuck you over and leave you with nothing. I just wanted to get there. That was the only thing on my brain.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, even as I've seen this season so far, being captain, I feel like is kind of a positive just as much as it is a negative, especially
Right.
in this season. So I feel like it's kind of hit or miss whether it's really beneficial toward your game or not. But awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I can't wait to see the rest of the season. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you,
You too,
Trey.
Trey.
Thank you,
Have a good
Trey.
one.
Thank
It was
you.
nice meeting
Okay.
you.
Nice to meet you too.